Say a word. That's useful. That's useful knowledge, I think, for people that may want to be like super low key about their shit. You know what I mean?
Mm.
Um,
Like even as a customer too in the weed store, like man, like
I
just be careful.
I know that my homeboy is in Toronto, like I said, and when we went down last time, it was like 2019. Um, and he was telling me some shit. Like this is when the dispensaries had just started opening. There was still like four of them in the city at this point, or some shit like that. It was fucking weird. And you could just buy weed online or whatever. But he was telling me it would go as far as to turn off his fucking GPS and shit before he would go into the weed store, and he refused to like walk in. And I'm like, I don't know if that was so necessary, sir. But now you're saying this, and I'm like, fair enough. I mean, to be fair, it's very clear if your like Google Map stops at the store, disappears, comes back. Like, it's super clear. But that's serious, stills. So
So
yeah.
I like honestly, I'll say this out of experience. So I like after I started working like in the dispensaries and stuff, and like legalization happened in 2018 in October. Basically like the guy who ran the shops I used to work at, he wanted to go legal, so he shut everything down right away, and because he was worried that if he got caught again, he wouldn't, be able to be legal type of thing. So, what ended up happening is that he fucking told one of his business partners to get in contact with me, and I became this like uncertified business consultant for fucking dispensaries. So we ended up opening four dispensaries, and I could tell you out of personal experience that I don't like the cops aren't like looking for like people in specific, or like they don't necessarily really fucking care about the dispensaries here. What they did care about is the people complaining about them. So like I've had four or more dispensaries in different areas in Toronto, and I could tell you I had two of them that never got raided once, and they were open for more than a year, you know? And it's
Mm.
like it's just because we made good like rapport with the community there. Like one of them was in Kensington Market, and it was just like everybody
Yeah,
that
Kensington Market, if I understand it, that's Stonerville.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah, the community, they don't really like having a bunch of dispensaries and shit there though, because they say it looks kind of trashy and stuff. But they are mostly Stonerville. They're just like a bunch of hippies and stuff
Bro,
chilling. It's
it's
dope.
colorful. It's restaurants. It's got the THC cafe place. I mean,
Yeah, but see, this is the thing though, is that like we had our store there, and then there was another store on the corner called Lit Paper and Glass, and that place got raided like maybe like 9 times, like fucking in 1 week, man. Like they got raided so many times. And we never got raided, and we were like fucking seven doors down away from this place. But it's because nobody complained about us, because I made it a point that I would go talk to everybody and I just be friends with everybody. Like, fucking, I go smoke dubs with half of the people that work in that whole area, like I brought
mm,
business cards to those places, and they're fucking literally taking my business cards and throwing the other people's business cards in the garbage just because they like how I am as a person compared to other people.
yeah, that is like the biggest knowledge nugget of this whole interview right there. Um, yeah, especially because you went into somebody's community that you're not from, right?
Hmm.
And you brought in something that's high risk. It's a weed store, and so evidently, if you're gonna open up a high risk endeavor, it's mad important to be good with the locals. And then you took the time to like integrate into the community and almost normalize it. And I'm gonna just assume the other weed store didn't do that, and as a result, maybe people didn't like them. Maybe their attitudes were different. Maybe you guys were friendlier. I don't know what all the nuances were, but that's super interesting that you took that time, put that effort in, and it resulted in you not having problems. But what about the other ones? How come there were problems? You weren't able to schmooze that community?
Well, some of the other ones, they were like, there was one that, holy fuck, man. So this one that we had, it was like further north of Toronto, and like it's still in Toronto or whatever. But basically, this place was right across from a fucking government building, because the guy who like picked the place doesn't it wasn't the brightest person in the world or whatever. And we used to get, bro, we got raided 3 times once in a day or whatever, and fucking like that was brutal. And then we kept getting robbed by the same fucking group of dudes. because their security guard just didn't give a shit, and he just like we had a camera they'd look at, and then you'd buzz them in, and you could literally see people bannied up on the camera, and the guy just fucking buzzes them in anyways, and it just like that place was really bad, and there was just like there was no opportunity to talk to the community or anything like that there. Like the thing is that Kensington Market is like it's a different type of place there because like you're able to go see all of these people, talk to these people, and you know they're already doing their things, whatever. Compared to some of the other places, there were like more people coming there to work. Like they're not like dedicated to the area, you know what I mean? Like they just come there to work at their store, and then they leave and fucking drive home or whatever. And then you got residential area in the back, you know. And I'm not going to knock at people's door, be like, "Yo, I got a weed shop. What's up?" Yeah.
Yo, so I have a question. If your illegal weed dispensary gets robbed, do you call the police?
The illegal one?
Yeah.
No, no. If the illegal dispensaries get robbed or if they get raided by the cops, we just refill it. Like what the situation with the police, we wait until their warrants are done because we usually get a copy of their warrant or whatever because they have to present a warrant, right? So we get a copy of their warrant and we see when it goes up. So it's like a 24-hour warrant. Well, as soon as that warrant's up, we literally open up the next day. If the warrant's for like fucking 4 hours, for example, which never happens, then it's like when that 4 hours is done, we're opening back up. We don't give a shit. The same thing with, bro, we got robbed and then fucking, we spent like an hour like sitting down with like the staff and shit and making sure like everybody was okay. And then whoever still wanted to work, they can. Everybody else could go home, do whatever, you know, paid the rest of the day for them. And yeah, we just opened up like an hour later. We fucking brought all the product back in and shit.
So what you're saying is people rob your weed, and then the main supply of weed is so big that it doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. Like even like the cops rate, like I said, raiding our places 3 times a day. It didn't really like it doesn't matter. Like they take all the money, they take all the product, and sure it sucks watching that all like leave and stuff, like as the person working there. But when you're looking at the grand scale of everything, there's still a lot more behind the scenes.
Yo, it makes you have like context for when they like brag about drug seizures and try to make it sound like epically fucking cool. You know, like it's like, oh, say word. So y'all took 0.0001% of their shit. Yeah. No, that's fair. So you're running that for a while, and I guess in the middle of all this is 2018 when you get into music, right? Because legalization somewhere around then and whatever. So what makes you get back into like music?
Well, so essentially, I had at the starting of 2018, I was running like a few of like the shops and stuff, and like I was making like good money, obviously, and I was like, man, I've fucking done a bunch of things, and I just want to like fucking like you know, fucking do more with my life a little bit, and I was like, you know what, I have a bunch of things like I want to do. I was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking start nailing off some stuff on my bucket list just for the fuck of it, you know, and I was like, I never got a tattoo. I was like, I'll get a tattoo. I was like, I've never been
Hold up.
skydiving. I'll
What
go
is your
skydiving.
tattoo?
Oh, I got 3 tattoos now. I don't know if you'll be able to see this, but
I see.
I got one tattoo here.
That looks cool. It looks like mushrooms.
Here, see if I can make it.
I might be
I'm
looking.
bad at camera navigating. Here, I'll just flip my fucking camera. I don't know what I'm doing here. There you go. Yeah, so it's called this one's called Learning to Share, and it's pot leaves and mushrooms, and they're all
Oh,
growing
it
from like
is
the same.
mushrooms. I'm glad it's mushrooms because I was like, just like, please be mushrooms. Oh, that's a hand.
Yeah, it's a Reaper hand.
Oh, that's cool. And like, that's a weed leaf in the middle, eh?
Yeah. So yeah, I got that one, and then I have another one on the back of the same arm.